Broadcasting live from WOYK's downtown studios at Santander Stadium. Talking York's home teams. Welcome to York College Spartan Sports Weekly on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Now, here are your hosts of Spartan Sports Weekly, Darrell Henry and Scott Guise.
Keeping with our long-running streak of inaccuracy on the show open, there is yet again another name left off that list. Derek Behrenshausen is with us in studio as well. Derek, say hello.
Hi, Darrell.
Scott, you want to say hi?
Hey! How's everybody doing on this beautiful early summer day?
I'll say hi, too, as we welcome you into York College Spartan Sports Weekly, and it's with a twinge of sadness that this is our final show for the school year. We'll be back in the fall, but, well, it's been a good run, boys.
Yeah, hey, we made it past the first show, which we never thought we'd do, so.
It was an accomplishment.
Yeah, actually, I had a parent come up to me the other day at our athletic awards ceremony saying how much they enjoyed the show. They live in New Jersey.
Sweet.
So it was pretty neat to have a parent come up and say, hey, we listened to you, and so thanks to everybody who's listened throughout the course of the year. We've had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully you've had as much fun listening. And if you were only live with us, you'd really understand how much fun we do have.
It's further proof that WOYK and Spartan Nation has gone worldwide. Or at least to the next state over.
Oh,
but
definitely. Well, I think people
restart.
Yeah, I think people have the opportunity to listen, and it's kind of nice that we, to have the stuff on demand so people can listen whenever they want. And obviously, we'd like you to listen live, but if you want to listen on demand, that's fine too.
We're not picky.
No, we're not picky at all.
By the way, are we at risk, do you think, just by being in this facility, that we might get ejected from the studio?
I don't know.
Today?
After listening to the game yesterday, it was a little rough. We're gonna blame it on Braverman. I mean, he retired 6 straight when he comes into the booth, and all of a sudden all heck breaks loose. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll get on Paul Braverman for that.
The old Paul Braverman Hex. So,
but hey, you got a great game for a game, great night for a game tonight. Should be a good crowd, and hopefully you can kind of snap that streak and get going on a. It's so early. Obviously, I'm sure the coaching staff isn't real thrilled, but it's early. You guys have an opportunity to come back and kind of get right back in the race. Starts tonight, right?
It does. It all starts anew tonight. Tonight's a new night. 6:30, we'll host Southern Maryland. We'll be on at 6:10 here on this very station. And also tonight at the stadium, it's Gluttony Day. So how do you two feel about that? And you know what? Just adding another factor to the equation, it is like 90 degrees tonight. So an eating contest with huge portions, I should say, huge portion sizes of all of our ballpark specialties and favorites, inning by inning. How long can you last? Ray and I have a front row view of the splatter. The eating contest.
Is that something you really want to see?
No, it's not.
Can they shield you from that? Because I would think that would be. I don't know. That'd be something I'd want to watch during a ball game.
How do you sign up, Darrell?
Well, you go into the Apple Chevrolet ticket office, tell them that we had 12 spots open. I don't know if it's all filled up yet or not. So you can try.
Okay.
If you want, Derek. I don't know if competitive eating is one of your talents.
I just like eating in general.
You just like eating?
Yeah. So
well, tonight could be your night.
Wow.
Actually, I think you'd like to go across the street and wash it down with some Liquid Hero.
Ooh. I think
that'd be the way to go.
Yeah, it is. It's right there. But yeah, you could have your plans for the night. We just laid out the plans for everyone.
Exactly.
Come on out to the game.
Come out to the ballpark. It's a beautiful night.
And watch some people throw up.
Wow, you really know how to sell it, don't you?
This segment brought to you by Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah. Well, we've only wasted 4 minutes to start this show. It's not even close to our season high.
It's not even close to the record. No.
Yeah. So I figured we'd start with women's lacrosse, guys, which is the big story.
Pretty good place to start.
Yeah. And Scott, you have your NCAA lacrosse shirt on today. It's a nice choice for the occasion.
We'd stay within the theme of
He's in the spirit.
Theme of today. So, yeah, it was. Since we've talked last, we fell in the conference championship game to Salisbury 6-3, but bounced right back as they earned an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament for the 4th year in a row, and they beat Union yesterday 11-6. The key to that game was the start by the Spartans. First 15 minutes of the game, the Spartans were up 6-0. They had forced 7 Union turnovers. Union had the first 3 shots of the game, went 0 for 3, including a stop. I believe there was a free position stop on that Rachel Donovan made. And then the Spartans just kind of came out blazing. Jamie Verman had 3 goals and an assist in the first 10 minutes of the game. And it was an impressive performance by York. And Union cut it to 3 with about 14 minutes left in regulation, maybe a little bit less than that. But the Spartans kind of maintained their poise and held off Union and advanced to the Sweet 16 as they will face Gettysburg, who picked up a 15-9 win over York earlier in the year. Actually, it was March 24th in York. And that was a game where York just did not play very well, gave up the most goals they gave up all season. And, this is a much different squad than what it was early in March, or late in March, I should say. And I think they have a good opportunity to go to Gettysburg and put together a good performance.
Yeah, I think the key going into that game will be something like what you saw on Saturday, or on Sunday, excuse me. If we can start well and get to a rhythm early, that's going to really help. Against Gettysburg last time, I think just started to snowball in the wrong direction early and then just kept going, and it was hard to bounce back from that. But what we saw on Sunday was, the recipe for success. Just get up early and keep going. And when you score in bunches, you just ride the momentum, and our team's kind of is built for that. We can come at you from a number of different angles. We don't rely on one scorer, one person in particular. As we've mentioned before, it's a group effort offensively. So, and that was on display on Sunday. We had a number of different goal scorers. So.
Yeah, Jamie Verman with 3 goals, 3 assists. Melissa Mealing, freshman, with 3 goals. Lily Damalugi with 2 goals. Sarah Castle with 1, as she now has 99 for her career, as she broke the school record for games played and games started this weekend. Sarah Sitton, a sophomore, had 1. Rachel Sachs had a goal. So, of all of our goal scorers, of the 11 goals on Sunday, all but one of them were scored by an underclassman. So, the exciting thing about this team is they are young, they're talented, and, pretty much now, obviously, you lose Carly Doherty and Sarah Castle, 2 very good players, but, the excitement of what we have coming back is pretty palatable.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Very deep team for sure. And then also another note for Sarah Castle is, like Scott said, most games played and started. She started all 75 of the games she's played in her career, which I double check, but that might be the only Spartan in program history to start every game in her career, which is it's pretty
awesome.
Amazing. And they're also the first, the winningest senior class, right?
Yes.
Her and Doherty are the winningest senior class. They've been to the NCAA's each year.
CSC championship game
each year. So those two certainly have been in the midst of a lot of success throughout the years, and certainly know how to play and how to act and how to lead this group down the stretch here.
And quite frankly, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that we were going to be playing in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament, I might have chuckled at you, because this was we lost a lot last year. We've lost a lot in the last 2 years, and that just goes to show the job that Jen Mustin's doing as head coach. She's able to go out and get kids who understand that lacrosse is important to them, who focus on academics and athletics and do a great job in both venues. And really, this team's been a lot of fun to watch, because it's not one person. We don't have one offensive star. Jamie Verman's probably the closest we have to having that type of player. But she's also willing to distribute and be a playmaker as well as a goal scorer. Yeah, she leads. She's amongst, give or take a few goals. It changes every game kind of because everyone's tied with assists and goals. But, yeah, she's up there. She leads the team in goals and assists for the most part. And like you said about, reloading and rebuilding, what job Coach Mustin has done is unbelievable. I mean, just, you look at 2 players that come to mind, 2 freshmen, Lily Damalugi and Melissa Mealing. 2 freshmen have had a big impact. Lily's been a great goal scorer, playmaker for us all year, and Melissa Mealing has been she's finding more of her offensive game. She's played the midfield role, and she had a hat trick on Sunday, and she really stepped up big. So, it was like you take away one option or you focus on one person, someone else is going to rise up and rise to the occasion and contribute. Which is what Union tried to do. They shut off Verman in terms of face guarding her, after she got the 3rd goal, and she was content to just kind of play that role of facilitator, distribute the ball. And, a lot of times in lacrosse, you don't get credit for the assist that leads to the assist that leads to the goal. But we make a lot of really good passes that lead to the assist that leads to the goal. Mm-hmm. And that's just as important as actually finding that open player for the goal. Because if you can reverse it quick and get the ball on the backside of the defense, that's where you can get a lot of really good opportunities. And that starts sometimes with Jamie, reversing the ball or sending it behind the cage or taking it behind the cage and then feeding from that. So, she's had a really good year, and she's a really good player. And I think as she continues to get entrenched in the way we played, she kind of started off a little slow this year. But, man, she's been on fire probably the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the season. She's been playing great.
Yeah, you could tell early on she was just trying to get used to playing this offense, coming over from her sinus, a different team. And
she kind of was the show.
She was the show at her sinus, yeah, definitely. Now coming to a team that has more depth and a lot more skill, she was trying to find her role and figure out how to contribute. And she's, I think that Messiah game was kind of like the coming out party for her. She had the game winner in dramatic fashion as time expired in that game, and I think ever since then you could kind of tell she turned the corner and was starting to figure it out how to play in this system, and really felt comfortable, and the chemistry was starting to build with her and the girls as well. And then again, we'll go back to Sunday, the defensive effort too. Union had a girl coming in with over 70 points, Maggie Comiskey, and end up with a goose egg. So again, a shout out to our defense, Megan Strauch and Carly Doherty, two captains, two all CAC players. Doherty Player of the Year for this conference. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that came out last week, and I guess we can announce it officially.
We can certainly talk about it. Carly named the Player of the Year, first time in the 10-year history of York College, the women's lacrosse program, that we had a Player of the Year. She was joined on the first team by Megan Strauch, Sarah Castle, and Jamie Verman, and then junior attack Allison Calasi was the second team. And then today it came out that we had some all-region selections, and those were?
It was Sarah Castle, Carly Doherty, Meg Strauch, and Jamie Verman.
So pretty impressive.
Castle, Doherty, Strauch first team, Verman second team.
So more all-league players, more all-region players, and I think we probably have a good shot getting at least one All-American, maybe two.
Yeah.
Certainly the way Strauch has been playing, she should be in the mix for All-American, and Doherty, with being the Player of the Year in the conference, and a really good conference, should have an opportunity to do that as well. So it'll be interesting. Those don't come out for another week or so, but certainly it's those girls aren't focused on awards right now. They're looking forward to playing Gettysburg on Saturday.
Yeah, they certainly have their hands full with Gettysburg, ranked 5th team, number 5 team in the country coming into the tournament, and they've been, a great program for many years, and so that'll be certainly be a tough test for them.
It'll be a load to handle, and especially playing at their place. But I kind of like the way this team's playing right now, and the way they played the first half again yesterday was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Well, what was the atmosphere like yesterday, and how tense did it get after the initial outburst?
I thought we had a great crowd.
Yeah,
I thought we had some of our wrestlers were there, and little body paint on, and some
it was a really
cheers. I thought it was a really neat
awesome,
atmosphere, and a lot of props to our student athlete, fellow student athletes who came out to support the lacrosse team, and obviously a strong parental following that this team has, and it was just a pretty cool atmosphere, and it got when it got to 3 goals, when it got to 9-6 with about 14 minutes left, it was kind of tight, and then they had a free position shot with about 4:32 left, I believe, and Rachel Donovan made the stop on that, and then kind of after that it was we maintained possession, tacked on a goal. And they got another goal late. So I think it was, lacrosse is such a game of runs. And, obviously we had a great run to start the game. But, I never really felt like we were in danger.
No.
But it kind of got a little tense there for a little bit, just because it's, how important the game is. If you have a regular season game like that, it probably ends up being a 13-5 type of game. Because we really dominated most of the play, even though statistics were somewhat close. The cause turnovers, to force Union into 17 turnovers, and we only had 8. That was a huge part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it throughout the year. We're a very good first half team. That's kind of our goal, is to come out early and try to put a team away. And in the second half, we've had a tendency to kind of cruise, take our foot off the pedal a little bit. But I never thought, like we were heading down a road we couldn't recover from, kind of to say it like that. In the second half, it was close, but I didn't think it was ever like panic mode. I think it was, it was kind of, all right, it's getting close, but hey, we're still in control of this game. Let's try to close it out. So I wouldn't say it ever went to a panic mode. And again, for the atmosphere, I thought it was I thought it was outstanding. The crowd, the bleachers were packed end to end. The fellow student athletes coming out to support, I thought was awesome. They were getting some chants going on late in the game. So the atmosphere, I thought, was awesome. And when Union finally broke through and scored their first one, their parents started to get into it. And, because up until that point, it had been basically
didn't have a whole lot to cheer for.
They didn't have much to cheer about, and it had been mostly our parents and our fans going crazy. So when they finally scored, then their fans came to life, and just a good college atmosphere.
Yeah, well, and it's really exciting, obviously, for the seniors on this team, but also the fact that you're able to get these underclassmen big game experience, going to the Sweet 16, and now this week they're going to play on the road in a hostile environment. 11:30 a.m. Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Sweet 16. But it's just breeding success for this program, I think.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the formula for the past few years. I look at the sophomore class now, and some of the contributors for them, they had some great experience last year, going to the tournament, going up to Amherst last year, going to Sweet 16. So and like we said, with the senior class, they've been playing in the tournament for all 4 years. So
it's kind of the point where it becomes an expectation,
yeah,
and not just it's something we still celebrate. But I really get the feeling around the program that that's what they expect. We expect to play in the NCAA tournament. We expect to be playing for a conference championship. We expect to play tough games during the course of the regular season, and that's exactly what Coach Mustin wants. And we were talking about this in the NCAA meeting today. The expectation is we want to be able to miss graduation, our senior, because that means we're playing in the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, and that's a huge deal. And I think I think initially some of our parents kind of were like, what do you mean she wants to miss graduate? What? And then when you think about it, I want our kids to be playing in meaningful games and get the opportunity to have the opportunity to play in the postseason and play meaningful games every year.
Now, last year, if I'm not mistaken, those that did have to miss graduation, they did something special for them, right, to kind of celebrate that event since they couldn't be there for it. So,
I'm not sure what the plan is this year.
Yeah.
With this, I think Sarah's the only one that's actually graduating that would be walking. So I think Carly actually she might have to finish up some summer stuff, but she's on track to graduate, but I don't think she's actually walking. So I'm not sure what they're going to do. I'm sure that Coach Mustin, she cares. Coach Mustin can come off as a very tough person, but she loves her kids and she'll do anything for them. And I'm sure she probably has something special cooked up for that, and they'll be able to celebrate. And ultimately, it's such a team game. Those kids are going to celebrate with, they want to celebrate with their teammate, and certainly it's a huge accomplishment that's really important. But so is playing the NCAA tournament as well.
Yeah, because it'd be kind of weird because the game time kind of falls right in the middle of the graduation
right in the middle of when
ceremony.
graduation would be. Yeah.
Well, an awesome day yesterday to get that win at home. Obviously, they played well enough to get the first round bye and then winning a second round game as it was yesterday and on to the road this Saturday. So big week of practice and preparation coming up and exciting stuff. And again, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. This is our final show of the school year on York College Spartan Sports Weekly, but I want to make sure people are aware and following the team this weekend.
Yeah, we'll still have a lot of stuff that occurs in the next couple weeks just in terms of some postseason word, academic All-America stuff. Track and field, we'll have a couple things going on. So, we're not completely done yet.
No.
It is significantly slowed, which we're both very thankful for. But it's a situation where it's we're starting to wind down a little bit. It's been a long year, and just every year I've told people this a million times. If spring was first, I probably would have been out of this business a long time ago because spring really drains you, just because of the schedule, the nonstop of it. In the fall that you have. You pretty much you're playing on Wednesdays and Saturdays for the most part. Occasionally you'll have some Tuesday games sprinkled in there, but for the most part you're on a pretty consistent basis. Same thing with winter, and in the fall you're only playing 20 games, except for volleyball, which plays more, but they're playing multiple games on days. In the springtime, it feels like we have at least something every day.
There's so many more dates. We'll put it that way. The teams are still playing about the same amount of games, but the dates are just so much.
And it's so much more compact because of the schedule. The two lacrosses aren't bad. They're playing about 20, and they're playing twice a week. Yeah. But baseball, 45 games. Softball, 45 games. And those games
And they're so weather dependent.
It's
Lacrosse,
so
you can
weather
play
dependent.
on turf, and baseball, softball are playing on obviously natural grass.
So the spring is a little crazy. So
and I'll give you guys a shout out. Your recaps and reports on the games online are the most detailed I've ever seen. So when you have all those, you can read it and feel like you were there. And when you have all those games in a day or in a week, I mean, you guys don't mail it in. You bring the same.
There's some nights that like to mail it in. And we've always kind of taken the approach that our website is our newspaper for our fans, and we owe it to them to give them
And your broadcasters.
and our broadcasters, but and our kids. Most importantly, quite honestly, our kids. I want our kids to feel like that they're taken good care of, and that they can go back and kind of that's their history. That is exactly what their history will be. This will, hopefully, live a very long time on the interweb, and that'll be a way for them to go back and say, "Oh, what a great experience we had at York College." And I just think that's really important.
Yeah, they can show their friends, "Hey, here's what I did back when I was in school."
And we're very fortunate. We have some great photographers that take some really good stuff for us, and really. That has
student workers.
Yeah, that has. We're very fortunate to have a great team of people that we work with, and certainly our student athletes and our coaches are exceptional, and we're very fortunate. Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it.
They're putting a lot of time and effort in, so we feel like it needs to be reciprocated. We need to take care of them as well. That's kind of the approach I personally take. So,
speaking of photography, I always notice during basketball season, Charles Wolf Gymnasium lends itself to some really neat angles, which you are able to capture on the interweb, as you say it.
Well, it's interesting to see. The websites. Here's a little old guy radio for you. When I started at York, we didn't have a website. We didn't have email. We did everything by fax.
What?
We didn't.
Did you rub rocks together?
Yeah, we rubbed.
your pigeons.
We had the
Tablets?
cans that we would string together between campuses, and we talk on through the cans. But it's changed so much, and now everything is instant. Everything, Twitter and Facebook and live stats and live video. I mean, that if you would have told me that 20 years ago, I would have been like, "What is this stuff? That's never going to work." But it continues to evolve, and it's going to continue to evolve. It's only going to continue to get more intensive in terms of on-demand, immediate results of what's going on. It's not just the big college shows or the big professional leagues anymore that lend itself to instant coverage. And it's only going to continue to become more intensive, and we're just going to find different ways to deliver the news to people. I truly believe that'll at some point in time. I hope the written word never leaves us. But you see all these new sites that are going to video stuff, video, and I think at some point in time we're going to have to dive in a little bit more intensely into the video, just because everybody else is going to be doing it. So that'll be another challenge that I'm sure we'll face as we move forward.
I remember your old office too, vividly.
Pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, down in the cave.
Hang out with the mice after the game. Yeah, it was awesome.
Just you and the mice writing game recaps.
That's exactly right.
11 p.m. Well, best of luck to the York College women's lacrosse team this Saturday. Once again, 11:30 in the Sweet 16 at Gettysburg. We've got a lot more to come here on this final episode of the season on York College Spartan Sports Weekly. Before you know it, it'll be next fall. We'll be at it again. But
don't rush us. Come on.
Oh, no?
No.
You have summer plans or
yes,
what?
I would like to take my beach vacation. Derek would like to take his vacation as well.
I suppose we can break long enough for that, and maybe a summer of Revs baseball as
there
well.
We go.
Hey,
sounds like a
there we
plan.
go.
Yeah. All right. So we all have summer plans coming up. But one thing that the Spartans did this past week was celebrate all of the athletic teams from this year, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And also continue to wrap up the sports season as we go along here on this hour. This is the York College Spartan Sports Weekly. I will spit it out, and we'll be back right after this.
Turning a double play takes teamwork, and so does preparing for life's challenges. Murray Securus works with you, hand in hand, providing thoughtful solutions to help you plan for the future. Team up with Murray Securus for safer, more secure risk management, personal insurance, health benefits, wealth management, even cutting-edge human resource solutions for individuals and small to large businesses. Living life in a winning way just takes a little teamwork. Call Murray Securus today at 397-9600 or go to murrayins.com.
Blaze
amazing fast service for all of your wipeouts. OSS Health Urgent Care will take care of all of your muscular and skeletal sprains, pops, twists, and breaks in minutes, not hours. Open 7 days a week for your urgent orthopedic needs. Now at 2 convenient locations, 1855 Powder Mill Road in York and 856 Century Drive in Mechanicsburg. Visit us online at osshealth.com. OSS Health Urgent Care. Experience you can trust.
Dad, I'm home. Why am I not surprised to find you laying on the couch?
Oh, hi, son. Is your fall semester over already?
Yep, I love it at York College, and I really like living on campus this year.
Yeah, that reminds me. We need to have a little talk. You know, about the facts of life.
Dad, we had that talk years ago. And anyway, I don't believe you ordered me from Amazon.com.
I mean, your mom and I are helping to pay for your college as much as we can, but now you've got room and board on top of books and tuition, and you haven't asked me once for money.
Dad, I told you last year that York Educational Federal Credit Union took care of all that. That student choice loan we applied for last year was a one-time application. All I have to do this year is tell them how much I need, and they send the money right to the school. The loan is set up similar to my Stafford loan, so I don't have to start making payments until 6 months after I graduate. I told you YEFCU rocks.
College has been good for you, son. You're smarter already.
York Educational Federal Credit Union, 1601 South Queen Street, York. Apply online at yefcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Brews and Skews, presented by York Traditions Bank, is a free admission carnival of food on the Brooks Robinson Plaza, Saturday, May 30th from 1 to 6 p.m. Begin your vacation season with a good time and staycation, packed with food on a stick, craft brew, and Revolution Caliber entertainment. Rockin' bands brought to you by CGA Law Firm play the stage all day. Come with your crew or bring the family to Brews and Skews, a free admission event presented by York Traditions Bank. Visit brewsandskews.com for the latest event info, and we'll see you May 30th.
Hey, sports fans, great news. Now you can listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stranded in Siberia? No problem. Kidnapped by wolves? It's not as bad as you may think. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Your home for York's home team. The York College Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York.
Back here on this final episode of the season of York College Spartan Sports Weekly, our wrap-up show of sorts. We will be back in the fall, but has been a good ride, boys, here in this first year.
It has been. I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as we have. So
yes, sir.
We just need to get Derek's name on the Open next year.
I'll have.
Don't bother.
No. What is it? It's May. I have a good 5 months to get around to it. So.
You can probably handle that.
Yeah.
You're big time. You like know people in the station, right?
Yeah, we have like 3 or 4 people with the station. So yeah, I know all of them.
You can make this work. You can make this work.
Well, yes, and our archives are on WOYK1350.com, NYCPSpartans.com. So should you miss us over the next 5 months, we can be there just a click away for you. So, boy, the world's great. Well, anyway, guys, we had the awards banquet this past week, and keeping with the theme of kind of wrapping up the school sports season on our program. That's what you guys do every year at this time at York College. It's a great tradition, great evening. First off, Scott and Derek, tell us a little bit about what it's like. Where was it held, actually? All the student athletes are together. The coaches are there.
In the Walner CPAC. It's basically our campus performing arts center. Mm-hmm. Now, we had an upgrade this year, and many thanks to you. You did the voiceovers for our videos. We do a video for each team, a recap video, which is a little bit time-consuming, but the kids really like it, and certainly your docile tones this year just made the event spectacular. And I know I can be a smart aleck sometimes, but in all seriousness, they were fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It was really good and really added to the atmosphere. Basically, we go in, we give our academic awards out, which we've gone a little bit of a different route. Now we recognize the contenders because we usually give an award to the outstanding senior male and female GPA, cumulative GPA for their careers. So now we basically announce the contenders, and then once finals are done and once final grades are tabulated, we'll do a release around probably next week sometime. We'll put a release out announcing who the scholarship or the scholar awards are, and then we'll also do a team. We give away our appreciation award, which this year went to Rich Oxane, who is retiring, a longtime coach, has been in the department for over 40 years.
Former professor of mine.
Former professor of yours.
And mine.
Yeah. Actually, here's a little
Ray.
he started at York College the year after I was born. That's how old. So, yeah, he's no spring chicken, but we love Rich, and certainly we're going to miss having him around, though I have a feeling
he ain't going too far.
He ain't going too far.
His energy is still that of a spring chicken.
He's great. He is he's one of those guys that just, you can tell he loves being around it. I think Terry's wife's going to kick him out of the house frequently, so he might be sitting in some people's offices next fall as she has told him to go. But it was certainly a great way to honor Rich, who's retiring and who's been such a central member of our athletic department, not only as wrestling coach but track and field and cross country. So, and he's always just there. He does a great job, and certainly he's going to be missed. But went on, had the videos, and then we got to present our 3 major awards, which included the Daniel Kleindienst Award, which was Tyler Hudson, the Georgia Heathcote Stallman Award, which was Jess Miller. That's signifying the outstanding male and female athletes. And then the Jake Jaquette Fighting Heart Award, which was won by swimmer Donald Timmerman. So, a great night overall. We got to recognize some pretty incredible performances this year. And, I think anybody that looks at the year, we didn't win any conference championships for the first time in a long time. But somebody made a comment to me the other day that I thought was pretty accurate. We had such a good year last year, and we graduated some really good athletes. And we were very young this year in terms of a lot of our teams. We're very young. So there's some promising things looking forward. And, it was kind of funny. We started doing this radio show, and we didn't have a very good fall. And that can get difficult when you're trying to talk about the teams and what's going on, and you're not having the success you're accustomed to. But we really kind of bounced back in the spring. Had some good performances. Obviously, women's lacrosse has been fantastic. We've had some good track and field performances this year. So the ability for us to come back next year, I think, is going to be good, and we're going to play well. And we have some new coaches on board that I think are going to make a difference. And I'm really optimistic about next year. And certainly this was the ceremony is a nice way to wrap up the campaign and really kind of get us energized heading into the summer. And as we kind of can decompress a little bit, and then right around mid-August we kind of get back at it, and we'll be ready to go.
I wanted to thank you for thinking of me to do the voiceovers. Had a lot of fun doing that, and honored to take part. Every student athlete there, all the coaches.
They were required to be there. So, no, we had, and it's kind of cool because for us, the only time we see the athletes is they're around the Grum. Most of the time they're in workout clothes. The girls have their hair up. There's you don't see them in and it's not a super formal event. The ladies usually like to wear, nice outfits and dresses, and the guys, either wear khakis and like a button-down shirt, and everybody looks really nice, and it's just nice to see our kids in a different form. So they all clean up pretty good.
Good thing you didn't ask me to. Well, never mind. I don't clean up that well.
No, that's probably what we got your voice. So that's all we really need.
Matter of fact, Ray and I are in the bright yellow WOYK shirts today, so I
like those.
Barely see the two of you.
Double extra large would be fine. I'd sport one for you.
Point noted. Well, you've given me plenty of.
I was going to say. I was wondering if you were going to come back with, well, what are you going to get me?
Nah, well, that's great. Great way to kind of put the wraps on the athletic year for all of them, and they put in. I mean, the student athletes, and I know we've talked about it from time to time, but we really can't talk about it enough. How much time they put in between school and class time, and every single one of our coaches puts that as a huge priority, which is why our athletic program has done so well academically, and we have quality kids. But between the time that they put in for that, the time that they put in the weight room or, on the practice floor, whatever, it's an amazing commitment, and what they do should be celebrated.
Well, the thing I'm most proud of is that we produce great kids. Now, we get them, we have, for the most part, we have great parents, we have great kids, and ultimately our job is kind of prepare them for real life, and real life being their professional endeavor. We don't have kids going and playing pro sports. It just doesn't, it happens every once in a great while, maybe with a soccer player or a baseball player. But for the most part, we're not going pro in much of anything. So our responsibility is, and what we do is preparing them and getting them ready to do whatever they choose professionally. Learning about teamwork, learning how to work with others, how to be part of something bigger than yourself. And I think our coaches really do a fantastic job of that. And I think our kids, I'm friends with a lot of our former athletes on Facebook, and it's so cool to see them as parents. And now, because I'm old, a lot of them now have kids that they're coaching.
It's older.
But it's cool to see that these people that were kids when you really knew them the best now are parents and are productive members of society, and it's just really cool to see. And it, one of the benefits of being older and being there a long time is when they come back, it's really neat to touch base with them and see how their experience at York College really impacted what they do and how they are. And I guess I'll really start feeling old when I start getting kids of kids that were here when I was first here. So I'm sure it's coming. Every year there's milestones like, oh man, they were born the year I graduated from high school, or, we're not that far away from born the year I got to York College. And it's like, whoa. So that is, that's kind of a little bit of a sobering thing for me. I
couldn't believe when we started seeing 1990 birthdays on the roster, and now it's in the mid 90s.
Yeah, it's in the mid 90s. Yeah, trust me. I know.
It's crazy. But and it really struck me when we had the Betsy Whitman 300th win video, and so many of her former players were on there and featured, and you get to see what they're doing now, and it's such a wide range of careers. But also a lot of them have gotten into coaching themselves, and now they're making a difference for kids. And
it's kind of the perpetual cycle. You hope that you give your kids, and that whether you're a parent or you're an educator or you're somebody who does what we do, you just hope you give them the tools to be able to go out and be successful, because that's you want to be able to pass that on. I think our coaches really do a fantastic job. And if you see the loyalty that our kids hold for so many of our coaches, it's really a neat thing. And that is, they feel indebted to our coaches. Our coaches, I know, are feel indebted to our players, because ultimately, they're making a living recruiting and coaching 18 to 22-year-old kids, and that can be really hard. But our coaches appreciate our players, and it's just a really good atmosphere to be involved in. And I can't think of a better place to be, because I just think everybody, it really is one family and one group of people that know how important they are to each other, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
And when we talk with our coaches, which we do on a regular basis, especially during recruiting seasons, they're always stopping by our office. One of the first things we always discuss is, well, what kind of person is he? What kind of kid is he going to fit in with? Is he going to fit into your team? Is he going to fit into your values? And I think coaches we have now, it's such a priority. I mean, you really
culture is very important.
Yeah, and you look at all of our rosters. I mean, all the kids are top-notch individuals. I mean, we see them on a regular basis, and they're always very polite, always quick to say hello or hey, what's up, or they always stop in and say hi. So I don't know how it is at other schools, but I think we're very fortunate to have coaches that place a priority on character. It's one of the most important things, and obviously then athletic ability up there as well. But character definitely is extremely high on everybody's list.
Yeah, it definitely starts there at the top. Well, it's great to celebrate what our student athletes did over the past year, and awesome that we were able to do that this past week. We'll continue. Yes.
I was just going to say those videos, we're going to be putting them up on the website, so people actually have an opportunity to listen to you and watch the videos. So those will probably be up sometime next week. But we want to be able to share that with everybody, and especially parents who weren't able to be there and get the opportunity to kind of watch the videos. A lot of work goes into them, but I think they're a nice way to kind of remember.
I thought it was
the year.
Yeah, I thought it was a great. I think everyone had a great time. There was a lot of cheering and a lot of
cheering,
booing and hollering going on. But no, I think that's part of the deal. Is it's nice to get everyone together under one roof and just kind of celebrate the athletes together. And it was a great time. And Darrell, I think he definitely did a great job. We got a number of compliments from people who said, "Man, it was something." It was definitely better, better this year than in others, for sure.
No, well, thank you for including me. Who's the video editing guru, or do you guys split the?
Scott kind of shoulders the load there. Yeah. I'm not going to take any credit for that. I'll help compile photos and pull photos, but no, Scott, he definitely shoulders the load there on that one.
Well, it's part of. I always say
you kind of have a.
I kind of gotten to the point. I used to, say every year, I'm going to get this done early. It never gets done early. It's always the last week. It's always like
I made you
Wednesday. I'm stressing a little bit. Can I get it done in time for the dry run on Thursday? And then we have a baseball game on Thursday.
With the computer crashes.
The computer crashed. I thought I was done. I had two
couple
sports.
Times.
I had 2 sports left.
Has it come back to life?
Yeah, it's fine. It ended up being okay. Our wonderful IT guy, Jason Roberts, came over and hooked me up and fixed it. So. There was a little bit of there was a period of angst on Thursday afternoon as we're trying to get that stuff done and get finished with
His
it.
desktop's been the problem child of our computer family throughout the year.
So part of the deal.
Well, and I made you wait because we had that rain delay in Lancaster last week. So,
gosh,
Dad had some
can't you
midnight voiceovers.
Yeah, you can't control the weather. I can't believe that. I'm stunned.
Hard to believe, huh? Well, we talked about how things were different with the website way back in the day. What about with the awards banquet? How has that changed? Because now you have the video.
It is gone.
What was it like?
It used to be, when I first got there, it was a full banquet. It was a full sit-down plated meal.
Yeah.
Every senior got recognized. Every coach went up and talked. It felt like it. I think it literally took 3 hours. It was a long, but it's gone through all kinds of different versions, and the video probably came about Sean Sullivan's last couple years. We did some highlight videos where it was just kind of goofy pictures that we put together and showed under some music. And when Paul took over, we kind of went in a little bit of a different direction in terms of having the coach have the independence to talk about each of their programs. You get 90 seconds to talk about whatever you want, and then the coaches would read it. Some coaches were significantly better than others. So it kind of was a little choppy, and it wasn't very good. I remember one year we had Jeff Gamber's cell phone going off in the middle of the thing, and we just kept going. And so it can really...
Eagles tickets or what?
I don't know. But it was a lot better this year, and certainly it was a lot of fun. And it's neat to look back because I think you forget... we forget some of the things that happened, some of the good things that happened in the fall because it's just you were so overwhelmed with what we're doing now. It just tends to get lost. But it was neat to be able to look back at it and say, I don't think we had the kind of year that we expected to have, but I don't think we had a terrible year either. No. So it's it's just something. I think we've gotten spoiled. We've had a lot of success, and sometimes that kind of makes you like, oh, well, we weren't very good this year. No, we were young and we were different. So I think that kind of helps.
No team championships this year, which is opposite of last year. We had 4, but a number of individual accomplishments and a number of great seniors. Tyler Hudson, we've talked about him playing in this program. He closed out his career, and Jess Miller, another one of award winners at the banquet, who qualified for cross country nationals back in the fall, and he's the only runner in women's history, in our program history, to do that once, and she did it twice. And she had a couple of CAC championships this year in indoor and outdoor track, and Michael Stetson was a champion in indoor and outdoor track. Kyle Walthall, again, another All-American performance for him at swimming, and set history by making the first swimmer in school history to make it in the top 8. So, again, maybe wasn't the overall team success that we saw last year, but still a number of individual standout performances. And you're gonna have years like that where you just wasn't our year, and this fuels the fire to come back next year. But still a lot of good stuff to build on, and women's lacrosse is still carrying the torch high right now. And we'll wait and see what happens with track. We may have 1 or 2 people moving on. We'll have to see how their times are and their performances are. this week at the last chance meet. But no, I think it was a pretty solid year overall.
Yeah. All right, well, we will take a break here on this final edition of York College Spartan Sports Weekly. More on our wrap-up program straight ahead. Don't go anywhere. You're listening here on Sports Radio 1350, WOYK1350.com, and the WOYK mobile apps. Hey athletes, does the winter weather dampen your sports training? It doesn't have to. Take your game inside at Backyard University, York's spectacular indoor sports training facility, right at home in your backyard. Located inside Fairmont Gym at 201 South Charles Street in Red Lion, Backyard University is a beautiful state-of-the-art indoor complex for all of your sport needs. Featuring a complete baseball and softball training complex with batting cages, pitching tunnels, and a turf field for the entire team, Backyard hosts camps, clinics, and competitive youth travel teams to play in the region's top tournaments. Join York Revolution greats Jason Espito, Darrell Henry, and Corey Thurman for one-on-one training. And take your speed and agility to a whole new level with professional trainer David Brixius from Explosive Sports Performance. Play your game year-round at Backyard University, right at home in your backyard. Visit online at backyard-university.com.
Security in life isn't something you just wish for. You build it with a strong financial plan. Start with Northwestern Mutual. Together, we'll design a disciplined and balanced approach to financial security, because reaching your goals is something we both want to work toward. To learn more, contact me, Dan McGarry, at my office on the square in York. Look for the blue awnings. Who's helping you build your financial future? The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
The Dan Patrick Show would like to present Awkward Moments.
What did Bill and Ryan do with the former First Lady?
He went in, he was going for the kiss, she went for the hug, and he ended up sort of air kissing over her left shoulder.
It's kind of like a cug. A kiss and a hug. I'm going to give you a cug. And now, Awkward Moments firsthand.
He's Nolan Ryan, the Rangers president. I saw where you got caught between a hug and a kiss with the president's wife after you guys won the game. You weren't sure if you're supposed to hug or give her a kiss. Did you feel like it was one of those awkward moments after the win?
Well, I didn't really look at it that way. I think we were all excited and just relieved that we finally got the right columns.
I didn't know if Secret Service was stepping in there, though.
Well, I can tell you, we had plenty of it last night.
On Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. We are screaming green. How about you? The York College Spartans are on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Back here on York College Spartan Sports Weekly. Got another 10 to 15 minutes here on our season. A little over 10, anyway. So we'll continue to wrap up the spring sports, which is the big story here in the last couple of weeks. We were off last week, and guys, we
didn't get a chance to talk about CAC track and field championships,
and that too.
That I think would be a good place to start this segment. The Spartans hosted the 2015 CAC track and field championships. And, really good. It was a long weekend. We hosted Saturday afternoon and then most of the day Sunday. But a fantastic opportunity to get to see some of the best athletes in the Capital Athletic Conference. And you had a pretty spectacular weekend. Overall, finished third on the men's side. Derek can probably tell us a little bit more.
Oh, well, sure. I'll jump right in.
Hey, we'll just throw you right in there.
Day one for the men was a pretty solid day. We had two all-CAC performers, and in order to get all-CAC performers, you have to finish first or second in your respected events. The highlight out of day one for the men was junior thrower Robert Doster, who claimed the javelin championship. He came into the day ranked first in the CAC, and so he kind of defended his top throw. He finished with a season best throw of 192 feet 5 inches, which was just less than a meter shy of setting a new facility record. He should be competing today at that Swarthmore to see if he will qualify for nationals. The top 22 performers qualify for nationals, that's across the board in each event for track. So we will wait and see where. I think he was top 20 after the CAC meet, but then there's been a few meets since then in the last 2 weeks. So we'll wait and see where he's ranked. And then again, in the 10,000 meter run, which was also on day one on Saturday, a number of Spartan men competed in the 10,000 meter. Senior Craig Epler was out in the front through most of the race, and he ran well. He battled hard. Kind of ran into a wall in the last lap and got past, but he was able to finish second and capture all CAC honors with that performance. He finished with a time of 34 minutes 9.3 seconds, which was a great performance for him. Also in that race as well, freshman Andy McGibbon took third. Another freshman, Tim Moore, also scored points as he placed fourth. Top 6 performers in each event scored points for the team. So those were the two highlights coming out of day one for the men. And on day two, some more individual success as senior distance runners had a strong performance overall on the weekend. Senior Michael Stetson captured the 5,000 meter run championship, and with a time of 15 minutes 38.6 seconds. That's actually his second CAC championship this year. He captured the indoor 5K championship back in February. Great day for him. And again, the men distance runners on day two. No other champions or all CAC performers on day two. Junior sprinter Darnell Tillman did have a strong performance, however, as he broke his own school record in the 400-meter dash with a time of 49.67. Tillman also competed in the 200 as well, where he placed fourth. And the Spartan pole vaulters, there's a nice crew of them. They also performed pretty well. Drew Chowan led the group with a third-place finish. Kevin Landis and Darius Rodriguez finished just behind him in fourth and fifth place. And then moving down, we look at some more events. Senior Will Murray in the steeplechase had a strong performance there. He closed out his Spartan career with a fourth-place finish in the 3,000-meter steeplechase. And he set the school record earlier in the year in the steeplechase, so it was good to see him perform well at the CAC meet. And then we'll see another freshman. A lot of good freshman distance runners. The well is certainly deep moving forward for Coach Lobianco's distance runners. Freshman Grant Dell had a strong performance in the 1,500-meter run. He finished with a personal best time of 3 minutes 57.36 seconds, which is just 0.05 seconds off the school record pace. So it was a little frustrating there, but overall great performance for him. And he also scored points in the 800-meter run as he took 6th place. So all in all, I think the men finished right where Coach Lobianco had expected. We had some good individual standout performances collectively as a team. We're going up against some great competition, especially in the sprints. I know Salisbury has got some strong competition there, so it was tough to, break into those top 2 places, but we were able to scrounge, third and fourth in order to score points to take home fourth for the men.
All right, thank you, Derek. And it was awesome to have a chance to host here this year. It had been a while since we had done that, but
yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's nice for our athletes to get the opportunity to compete at home, and we have a great facility, so it's just kind of nice to be able to show that off. And we had some really good crowds throughout the course of the weekend, and
I thought it was a great environment overall. It was really, the 10K was pretty fun to watch. That was on Saturday night, Saturday evening. It was kind of fun because it's like a little mini marathon basically, and to see Coach Loeb
35 laps.
Yeah, it's
33 or 35. It's a long time of running.
And that last lap is like everyone's just kind of yelling and encouraging you to. It was a pretty it was pretty much a wild scene. Coach Lobianco was running from corner to corner, chasing down Craig to kind of encourage him, and it was pretty cool to watch that. And then to close it out on Sunday afternoon, the relays, Salisbury set the new. Well, pretty much all of our facility records fell on the weekend, but it
was impressive to watch, and certainly happy for all the seniors who did well, and that's going to be more than likely most of their last collegiate performances. We have a meet today, a last chance meet, but I only think we're taking 8 to 10 kids to try and qualify or just run a PR.
And Jess didn't even go. I saw her earlier today. Well, she might be heading down.
No, they were leaving at 2. She was going to go. So, okay. But she already said, "Hey, I just want to go set a PR in the 5, in the 5K." So, she kind of understands that this is going to be it for her, and what a career. Her and Caroline, I think, are always going to be kind of intertwined in terms of they're best friends, and they hang out where you see one, you usually see the other. I would guess 10 years from now they're probably going in the Hall of Fame together. So it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, guys, I figured here in the last couple of minutes we'd wrap up the school year and get your thoughts on best moment for you from this past year. And obviously no team championships this season. That's a little bit different. Still had some good runs, some good teams, some individual classic single games if you want to go that route. For me, being around the basketball teams, there were a couple there that stand out to me. But what about you guys? What if you think back? Do you have a top game or top individual? I
appreciate you preparing us for that.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind for me, I'll go ahead and jump. I'll give you time to think. I can tell you're stewing over this one, but I might take yours. I don't know. I think the moment that stands out for me was Tyler Alcid.
You took mine.
I figured I took one of yours. Yeah, that was the game winner at Penn State Harrisburg. That was probably a top moment for me. I'm sure there's other ones I just can't think of, but that was cool. I felt, we all felt so happy for Coach Hunter and for that team, going through some lumps there early on in that season with, trying to figure out the right group of guys and right connections of, chemistry wise, but to come back and win that game in that fashion after battling so hard, it was awesome. And of course, a buzzer beating shot, those are always going to stand out and be awesome moments.
I think mine is win number 300 for Coach. Coach Whitman. Yeah. I think that was the opportunity to be there when it happened. She's been at York almost as long as I have, and the opportunity to kind of get that to share that with her and the team, I thought was, and it was an important game at the time. I mean, that was an important seeding game to be able to win that for the CAC tournament.
And they played great.
They played great in the second. That was awesome. Probably another moment. Actually, there's a lot of individual moments. I think one of the things that I'll take away from this year is we did a lot of learning. As a department, as a bunch of teams who were pretty young. You think of softball and how well they progressed this year with an incredibly young team. So I think there are a lot of positive things that have happened this year. I think we tend to focus on the lack of championships this year, but I think there were a lot of steps by a lot of different programs that are going to have us in better position next year. I think men's lacrosse is going to be really good next year, despite losing 4 really good seniors. Jen Mustin's proven that women's lacrosse is always going to be good. As long as she's the head coach, we're going to be really good. So I think there's a lot of positive things. But I think if I had to pick out one moment, it'd probably be Betsy Whitman's 300th win.
And you talk about learning a lot and building towards the future. Field hockey is another example of that. This season they had the best turnaround in school history. A moment from their season was beating Gettysburg early on, who's usually a very good team. First time in 25 years they beat them.
I think with that team too, they started out well and then they kind of had a little rough patch, but they were able to bounce back. And I think to me that was one with that team, the ability to kind of right the ship and get it going back in the right direction again, pick up a win in the CAC tournament and really do a good job. That's a great point. That's a team that's really, I think, on the rise as well. And wrestling is going to be really good next year. So I think we're going to have. I think the women's soccer team is going to be back and be really good. So I think that there are a lot of things to look forward to and a lot of positive things we're going to have going on. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think next year's going to be pretty good.
I'm going to go with women's basketball 18-point comeback
at Christopher Newport. That's a heck of a that's a good one. We didn't actually, we got to live it through you, but since we weren't there, that that was pretty cool too. And to do it in the way we did it, was pretty awesome. And that that's one of those wins, going down the line and then going and playing tough at Salisbury. Playing really tough at Salisbury. Those are the kind of things that are building blocks of success the following year after that, because you have the confidence to do it, but you also know you're not quite there yet because you couldn't get past Salisbury. So I think that's something that's going to be really beneficial to that team. I think that's a team that could be great next year. With not only who they have coming back, but also some recruits that I think are going to be really good, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch them play as well.
I will say Ryan Flynn winning Mid-East Region Most Outstanding Wrestler was pretty cool, too.
Yeah. Well, and I think the moment of actually just getting to go to Nationals.
And going to Nationals.
Getting the opportunity to go up to Hershey and see kind of what it's all about.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a lot of fun. Obviously, he didn't do what he had hoped to do, but ultimately it was a great atmosphere and a really cool situation. I would love to go back again. I hope we get it somewhere close again because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, for me, spending these Monday afternoons with you.
Yeah, I can tell you're super excited now because you got a bunch of work to do before the 6:05 first pitch, right?
6:30.
6:30 first pitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So. No, it's pretty well under control for the day.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun this school year. I see you. Nobody seems to take me seriously when I have that tone, but I do mean it. I have enjoyed this thoroughly, and
I believe you, Darrell.
Thank you, Derek. Look forward to being back in here in the fall.
Sounds good to me. I like that. That sounds like a plan to me.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, this has been your College Spartan Sports Weekly. For Derek Behrenshausen, Scott Guise, Ray Jensen's also in here helping us out in studio today. Darrell Henry saying so long, and thanks for being with us all school year here on Monday afternoons. And, of course, you can catch the archives on WOYK1350.com and YCPSpartans.com. We will be back with you in the fall. Enjoy your summer, everyone, and go Spartans.
Did you know that Shipley Energy can take care of all your energy needs? From heating oil and propane to providing your home with electricity and natural gas. We also provide heating and air conditioning service and installation. All of your energy needs are under one roof at Shipley Energy. To learn more, visit ShipleyEnergy.com or simply call 855-4SHIPLEY. Shipley Energy. Energy for life.
At OSS Health, our highly trained physicians are on the field, in the training room, at home games, or away. From preseason physicals to postseason surgery, we're on the sidelines so athletes don't have to be, getting you back in the game. When it comes to sports medicine, we're the ones you've trusted for 30 years. OSS Health Sports Medicine, experience you can trust. Visit us online at osshealth.com.
At Northwestern Mutual, we take a disciplined and balanced approach to financial planning. Together, we'll help build your financial future on time-tested principles, not market trends, so you can take advantage of life's opportunities. To learn more, contact me, Dan McGarry, at my office on a square in York. Look for the blue awnings. Who's helping you build your financial future? The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Your home for York's home team. The York College Spartans play here. Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York.